I appreciate you. I appreciate you spending the time to get the technology right at short notice, Thierry. I should have flagged you up and given you more time for that. So thank you.
No problem, of course.
Yes. So tell us, Thierry, what are you doing? Who you? What's been happening? Could we talk about how you started playing drums, Thierry? And
Hold on, I need to plug my phone.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the cable.
yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
You started playing drums back in France. How long ago?
Yes,
And what were you listening to? And what were your influences? And your father was a drummer. Do you want to just talk a little bit about that?
sure.
Yeah.
All right. My dad's name is Andre Arpino.
Mm.
He was a famous drummer in the recording uh, artist, studio recording
Yeah.
artist in Paris, France,
Yes.
especially there.
Uh,
Um, Famous, so he recorded for Quincy Jones, uh, Lalo Schifrin,
right.
Baden Powell from Brazil,
Mm.
many amazing
Mm.
artists and stars.
Mm.
So he was very busy,
Mm.
and I believe I missed him when I was very young,
Mm.
between
Mm.
1 and 3. I
Mm.
believe I missed him. So at 3 years old, um, he set up his own one of his set at home, and then
Mm.
my I guess the way I would be in touch with him was like playing his drum set.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I banged these drums for 2 years
Mm. Mm.
non-stop,
Mm.
3 years old to 5. And one day my mom said to my dad, he's always behind the drums, you got to do something. And he's like,
Yeah.
okay, come here. And I was
Mm.
like, what's going on? And
Yeah.
then he sat me on a basic stool, like a kitchen stool. And
Mm.
then he put another kitchen stool in front of me, and he put some phone book, very
Mm.
thick phone book.
Yeah.
And he said, okay, right. I
Mm.
play right, left,
Mm.
left,
Mm.
right, right again. And
Mm.
that was my first exercise,
Yeah.
paradiddle
Yeah.
and single stroke roll and double. And I was like, oh my God, this is
Uh-huh.
amazing.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
What what um, what was amazing is like he had spent few minutes with me
Mm.
explaining what to do, and I
Mm.
was like so happy.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And I'm 56, so 53 years later, I'm
Yeah.
still playing my drums.
Yeah. Yeah. So was it always jazz, Thierry? Were you always into jazz like from the beginning? Was that
No,
or
no, not
yeah,
at all. Um, no, when he comes back home, sometimes he would bring back some, not CDs, but LPs,
yeah,
40, 45s or, 33.
yeah,
And I would just play that on a very old um, LP
mm.
platin, how do you say, like a,
Like
player.
a record player,
Yes,
yeah.
right.
Mm.
And I was listening to him, but I was listening to the songs he was playing for different singers and different stuff in France.
Yeah.
Um, so I basically listened a lot about singers and
Uh-huh.
songs, pop
Uh-huh.
songs,
Uh-huh.
for years and years. And then when I was 12 or 13 years old at home, um, in the kitchen of my parents' house,
Mm-hmm.
there were a radio
Yeah.
and a radio set, and I heard on the radio like some kind of music where I was like, "What's that?"
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it was Night Sprite from Chick Corea, from
Right.
Leprechaun.
Right.
So, and I was like, oh my God. And then they gave us the phone number to call this radio station sometimes. And so I took the timing when they play this music. I called the radio station and they told me it's Chick Corea. And I'm like, okay. Then I go to the music store in this little town where I used to live. And I ordered the LP because even back then, you know, nobody knew who was Chick Corea and that. So he ordered that. A week later, I had my LP at home and I played it. And it was amazing. At the same time, my dad came back from LA where he was recording with Michel Colombier. And he recorded a second CD of Wings from Michel Colombier with Chuck Rainey on bass.
Right.
And then in the studio, they were just finishing recording also Stevie Wonder next recording, which is the song of the Key of Life.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
And they gave the tapes. They bounced the big tape to a 2-track big tape.
Yeah.
And they gave the sound engineer gave that to my dad. He said, "Listen to that. It's the next Stevie Wonder." So he comes back home from the USA, and then he said, "Let's hear that. It's the next Stevie." And I'm like, "Oh, Steve, I always loved Stevie." And then we played it and it was like amazing. And of course, the world knows about these songs and these amazing CDs, double CDs.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. Plus, Chick Corea and the drummer was Steve Gadd.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God. And then also he came back one day from Switzerland. He was playing with a French singer, a famous singer. And there were a tape in the car that a friend of him gave to my dad, and it was a new bass player, new recording of a bass player. It was Jaco Pastorius.
Right. Yeah.
And the tape was long enough to record 2 CD. I lost you, Paul. I cannot see you anymore.
Hello.
Yes,
can you
I
see?
can hear you. I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Okay, we just have to be patient and wait for it to come back, I guess. Oh dear, is it back?
I can see myself, but no, I cannot see you.
No,
I can hear you. I can see myself.
Yeah. Well, keep talking, Thierry, because hopefully my picture will come back. And I just wanted you.
Yeah.
I'm back. Okay,
sure.
Okay. I want to hear you talk about your history and so.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So so he came back with this cassette, and they were Jaco Pastorius. Nobody knew about this, and also George Duke.
Right. Yeah.
And he gave to me the tape, and I was playing that in my parents' car because we didn't have a tape player back then, and I was like blown away by Chick Corea and this drummer Steve Gadd. I don't know, and I'm joking a little bit because, and then Stevie Wonder and then George Duke, and it was just amazing. So I was more in the pop music. Then when I was about like 18 years old, I started to listen to jazz, and I listened to Miles Davis in the 60s.
Yeah.
And that was another time where I was blown away. And the drummer was Tony Williams, and that was like, that's it. I said that's it because from that time, I'm still with Tony Williams. I'm still blown away each time I listen to him, and I practice a little bit, inspired by him, all this stuff. So, and then a little bit later, like when I was 22, I listened to John Coltrane for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Elvin Jones, and then I opened my mind more and more. But because of my background, since I was very little, I listened a lot of songs and stuff like that. I played a lot of pop music and songwriters in France and with friends. And then little by little, we started to play more jazz, rock, and jazz with different people in France. And that's it.
Thierry, there was a guy who wanted to ask you a question, right? Whose name was John Metcalf, and he was asking if you filled in for somebody. Maybe he'll re-ask the question. John, if you can re-ask that question, I'll put it to Thierry, because I think he saw you at a. He believes he may have seen you play in France quite a few years ago. You know, so you're in the States. You're playing jazz, you're playing fusion, you're playing, and we met at Pete's Saloon, right?
Yep, Elmsford, New York. Yes.
Yeah, amazing experience. And George Chen saw me play on YouTube, and kind of and said, you know, why don't you think about coming to New York? And he said, there's this place called Pete's Saloon, and they play jazz and the jam and this, that, and the other. So you and I met up there. And we started to book a few gigs, and we had some fantastic gigs. And the thing is that Pete's Saloon isn't putting jazz on anymore. The Fez isn't putting music on anymore. It's just getting harder and harder to play, you know. So I mean, how are you finding it, Thierry? Are you finding that the live music scene is as bad as anywhere else, or is there still something to be had over there, or what are you finding?
Well, it's a good question, but the thing is, since 1998 I moved here, I also changed, and I met different people and from different styles of music. So that also bring me to different different fields, different playing different styles with different people, so in different places. That and you know, I played with Jean-Luc Ponty here for 9 years, was on tour, so I was not constantly local and playing local gigs, and didn't really know what's going on locally around New York. Then after Jean-Luc, I was more local, and then we met Pete Saloon, the Fez, some stuff. There are places in New York City, of course. And then I also got another gig that I'm still playing right now. It's with Lisa Fischer, the arranger and guitar player and keyboard player, called me to play with her. So we are busy with Lisa Fischer now, and so I don't really know what's going on because here in New York, basically, things are moving, changing all the time. You see a new place, and everybody wants to go and play, and it's fun and nice. And after a few years, even a few months, sometimes they close or they change the owner, and there is no more music. But there is another one. So I don't really know what's going on, what's happening right now. But when we met, it was just amazing because you know, we just said hi, and then we jam, and then you are like, oh my God, we play some heavy blues, and I love this too, and I discovered you, and then we stayed in touch. But yeah, it's not easy to stay in touch and continue to play, because I'm sometimes on tour for a little while, and then you know.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that night very clearly. The first time we played, because Bill Evans was playing tenor sax, and
We
Rick,
invited him, yes.
yeah, and Richie Morales got up. And the first time I met Richie Morales was the first night that I met you. So
Hmm.
like I met two monster drummers on one night, you know, and my memory of that night was as Bill Evans was there, Richie Morales was there, and you were there. And I don't kind of class myself as a jazz player, right? Um,
Hmm.
I kind of bluff jazz, but you know, and I like jazz and I listen to jazz and I try to be jazzy, but I'm not a real jazz player. And I was sitting in Pete's Saloon on that first night and the first set, and I was listening to you with Rob Aries, Kip was playing bass, and Bill Evans was playing tenor
Kept
sax.
Sophos.
Yeah, astonishing bass player. And Bill Evans is playing tenor sax, and I'm sitting there just thinking, this this is the night where it all falls. This is where I thought I was going to be found out, you know, because these guys were such heavyweight jazz players. And yourself and Richie and Bill and Kip and you know, I'm not a jazz player, and I think we played some
Well,
shuffles and some swing and some blues and that, and I managed to get away with it. But I'll tell you, Thierry, that is a great example. Meeting you and hanging out at Pete's was a great example of how, you know, going out into the big wide world and challenging yourself makes you. I'm a far better player for that. And I could have said I'm not going to play. You know, no, I'm not going to play. You know, but I got
mhm.
up and I think that's the value of the experience, isn't it? To keep pushing ourselves to say I can't do this, but I'm going to try anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, we all do that. Even we are here. I'm from Paris, France. You're from UK.
Mm.
Friends from Texas or whatever. We all come to New York to meet and try to express ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of this crazy
Yeah. Yeah.
city.
Well, I'm gonna, you know, Thierry, I'm gonna be back there hopefully this year. You know,
Yes, come please and play. Let's play. Oh my gosh.
absolutely. That is absolutely the plan. And you know, there's such a pool of great talent over there. I would, you know, I'm really looking forward to coming back over there and doing something. And I think we should maybe try and find a way to we should maybe try and find a way to record something and have a few cameras running and edit it and put it on YouTube. You know, I think that would be absolutely fantastic. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, I would say not try, but just doing it. You
Yeah,
come when you can. You come here.
yeah,
Um, I called Carriage House Recording Studio.
hmm
A good friend, good people there.
yeah,
The sound is amazing.
yeah,
Uh, and then we can record their live 3 songs in one afternoon,
hmm
record the audio, record the video, and
yeah,
we're good. And it's like a little investment for a big
hmm
big music, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
sharing that is to me important.
Yes, it is. It's very important. We'll get Dave Anderson in to play bass or Mark to play bass or something like that. It'd be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Cape Sophos, Dave
Yeah,
Anderson,
yeah,
Maury Loudon, all these amazing player, Mark Egan,
yeah,
uh, these people. I,
yeah,
you know, they are. I have great friends and amazing players here, of course. And
mhm,
you,
yeah,
me, Rob, different. Anybody is amazing.
yeah, yeah. Well, Thierry, brilliant. You are the first guest I've had on. I've been streaming for the
Nice.
yeah, yeah. I've just done my eighth live guitar stream tonight, right? And
Okay.
and I've been wanting to get interview. I want to be interview people, and you and I have talked and we've messed about, and getting the software to do what we want the software to do. Not only trying to get Google to connect us tonight, but me trying to work out how do we stream the interview live. It's been really confusing, but we've done it. You're number one, and it's brilliant. So, and yeah, brilliant, Thierry. What can I say? Congratulations on the football.
Yes, they played great. It was 6 goals. It was a nice, fun match. I liked it.
Yeah. Well, I think France was always the team that was going to win it. If the truth be known, we wanted and hoped and wished England might, but it was always going to be France. I think, you know.
Okay.
Right, Thierry.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah.
I don't see you right now for a few minutes, but I can hear clearly, which is good at least. And then we talk soon. Text, whatever, we're in contact always.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say Thierry Arpino, brilliant drummer. I'm going to post some links onto my Facebook page, and maybe if there's some stuff of you playing with the vocalist that you're currently with, you know. Lisa Fisher, yeah, absolutely. And Mark Egan's going to come on and do an interview, I think. And I've got Lance Lerman, the guitar builder, is going to come on. So, you know, it's up to us. You know, this is the thing that I've woken up to, Thierry. It's kind of up to me. It's up to us. It's up to the artist. It's not up to the manager or the record company or MTV. You know, it's us. Yeah. We're in control. You know.
Of course, with the technology today, well, it's made by humans, so cannot be perfect. But yeah, we can do it. We managed to do it, so we are the managers.
That's right. We're the boss. Okay, Thierry, nice to see you, my friend, and we'll stay in touch, and I'll see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Cheers, Thierry. Bye. Bye.